Welcome into your 15-minute weather. I'm meteorologist John Zeigler with meteorologist Courtney Aitken. How you doing?
Good. It's Wednesday. It's actually Wednesday this time.
You had the day wrong.
I did. All day yesterday.
Oh, man. That's like there's an Office episode where Dwight thinks it's Friday, but it's actually
started
Thursday.
The Office.
You did?
Yes. So I saw that episode and I thought of you.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I love that episode. They're like, so we're going to keep that going. And
Yeah.
Dwight actually misses work. Anyways. Well, welcome back to reality.
Here we are.
And now we have to talk about this winter storm. But I feel like when people think about winter, they always think about snow. But this is not really going to be that for most of us.
Yeah. And I think like the verbiage just has been interesting because it's now April and we're talking about winter precipitation.
It's April Fool's
It's
Day.
April Fool's Day. No pranks.
We shouldn't do a prank. Like Mother Nature has us covered there.
Yeah.
On all
I
the pranks.
fully agree
Okay,
with that.
cool. I was
But
like,
I heard somebody on the
almost
radio-
gonna throw this and break the camera. Like, nah, good one.
Just kidding.
Yeah.
But I heard somebody on the radio talking about the forecast, and they called it a spring mix. And I'm like, I thought that was a salad, spring mix.
It is a salad.
But yeah, it's interesting because it is spring, but we're getting this winter mix of precipitation. I don't know. That's been floating around.
I like
in my
that.
head.
I kind of feel like April is an interesting time. People expect something, but they get something else. But every single time there's a low pressure center in this country, the north side has snow, the middle part has freezing rain, and the south side has tornadoes. You just have to ask yourself, which one
would you prefer?
What would you like? Because of course you're going to get something.
Yeah.
Only a very select few at this time of the year get rain.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
It's usually like the best part of the system is going to be, I guess, southern Minnesota, extreme southern Minnesota, northern Iowa. Probably not warm enough to get severe weather. You go too far to the south, Missouri, they'll get hammered. I lived in Missouri in April. It's busy.
I can imagine. I can imagine.
Yes.
Yeah.
But so I think what we're going to do is today, these things change right up to the very end. Because yesterday you were talking about this, and it did look like it was going to start at 6 o'clock yesterday in the evening today.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden I come in this morning, I'm like, how did it really change that much? And now it looks like it's more like midnight to 2 a.m.
Right.
Which is better for tonight. And for me, trying to sneak in here at 2 in the morning tomorrow, that's better.
A little bit better. Yeah.
But
then the timing's just been one of those weird things to message since now we have the alerts that I believe all start at 7 o'clock tonight.
Right, now
so
it's interesting. Yep.
Now we're just trying to make it all match up.
Yep.
So with the weather impact alert, start that at 7 just to make sure that we're consistent. And it's like buffering. I know you said that earlier, which makes a lot of sense.
I think that if you're inside at 7 p.m. because it's 7 p.m. to 7 p.m. tonight till tomorrow. If you're in there and you just want to stay away from that time, you're good to go.
Yeah.
Want to drive until 7. But I think there's specifics because the reality, we talked about it yesterday, a lot of folks have to go outside.
Right.
So if you have to drive, which we do, 2 a.m. to 11 a.m. is the time that I found was the worst tomorrow morning. Because I'm leaving at 1:30 my house, and I'm hoping I'm right.
You better hope.
I'm trying to leave 30 minutes before I say it's the worst. But yeah, I think that we'll start seeing that mix come in. One other thing is that we're looking at models right before we come on here. The European model still wants to give the Minneapolis area a quick burst of snow and 1 to 3 inches of snow at 1 or 2, 3 in the morning. And then we have other models that are saying, nah, it's going to be sleet or freezing rain to start. So, and those things I believe are just because we're so on the line. You just got to kind of wake up and see what happens.
Yeah, and it's a lot of it too is if we're getting rain, it's all going to be temperature dependent. If we're in the 20s, it's freezing rain. If we're mid to upper 30s, it's just regular rain. So
yeah. Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah.
One other thing before we get going, we've got to get going. But I think rain and freezing rain are interesting for the viewers because I've seen really heavy freezing rain and viewers say it's pouring rain outside, and I'm like, yo, Cindy, that is freezing rain.
Yeah.
Because it falls as rain. Both are rain.
it's not going to freeze until it hits something.
It's super cooled water droplet.
Something to freeze onto.
Yeah, so it's super cool water droplets, and the only way that you as a viewer or me or a human being knows the difference is look at that temperature outside. If it's 29 and it's raining, that's not rain, that's freezing rain. If it's 33 or 34 and it's raining, that's regular rain. So sometimes it is that simple. Freezing rain has to be less than 32 degrees at the surface. Let's just set the record straight.
Yeah.
All right, now we can commence.
All right, let's do it. Here's a time lapse of the sunrise. It was a quiet morning. You probably got into work just fine because the roads were dry, and it looks like they will be that way all the way through late afternoon, even early evening. This is the current timing of our weather impact alert, starting that at 7 o'clock tonight and rolling it through 7 o'clock tomorrow night. So 24 hours, keeping that simple, because to be honest with you, the rest of this system is not as simple. So we're really just trying to be consistent here. We are looking at multiple types of precip. So snow could get a quick burst of that. Freezing rain, also possible. Regular rain, possible. Sleet, that's also in the cards. So really what you need here is to be extra cautious on the roads. If you have to be out and about, you can be out and about. Just it's going to be one of those scenarios where you have to take it a whole lot slower. This is new as of this morning. Winter storm warning. This is going to be to the south and southeast of the metro. This extends into parts of Wisconsin, including, looks like, Menominee there. So from midnight to noon tomorrow, I'll get out of the way, you've got the chance of seeing a 1/4 inch or more of freezing rain. That would not be ideal, to say the least. And if you look at this darker color here, we didn't label that just because this map gets a little bit busy. That, I believe, is an ice storm warning for parts of Wisconsin, and that's really dangerous, but that's not impacting our core areas. Most of Minnesota is going to be under a winter weather advisory. That's the one that starts at 7 o'clock tonight, and that's why we kind of edited our weather impact alert to match up with that timing. Although it does look like that snow has shifted slightly to the north, so your best chance of seeing accumulating snow, I'm talking multiple inches, that's going to be for northern Minnesota. Mainly a freezing rain event for the metro, and that worst time for travel, at least according to the models from this morning, is going to be at 2 a.m. through about 11 a.m. tomorrow. So the rest of today does look pretty quiet. Through the afternoon, you're fine. It's just cloudy. It's going to be colder than yesterday with highs in the 40s. And then by the time we get to 7 o'clock, weather impact alert goes into effect. Winter weather advisory, also goes into effect, and that's going to be with us through the next 24 hours. So we just kind of threw this together on the different types of precip we could see. I think that we've already talked through this, but it can be helpful to just kind of see it. The snow, we could get that here, but the accumulation for multiple inches, that looks like it's going to be up to the north. And then as far as ice goes, this is where we have to be a little bit more cautious because a light glaze is possible for the metro, but down to the southeast, and we do have a map on this, it could be a lot thicker. So that's where the ice would really do some damage. And then the good news here, at least I think, is that it looks like that precip transitions back to just liquid rain by Thursday afternoon, and we're done by Thursday evening.
I agree. I think the rain saves us if we can do it. I think the question becomes, can you do that? And a lot of this comes down to the positioning of the low pressure center. So right now we have the low going through Eau Claire, which keeps us into that kind of that rain transition. If that thing slides south even 10 to 20 miles, the metro could get a lot worse.
Right.
So small finite things change, and when you're talking about really finite things like ice, freezing rain to sleet, what I don't think a lot of people realize is the physical nature of freezing rain and sleet is so close, right? It's so close.
Yeah.
When you're looking at it from a physical meteorological standpoint, it's sometimes very difficult to find the difference until it's happening.
Yeah. And then you get into, you're just kind of nowcasting at that point.
And I think tomorrow's a day you got to just wake up. Like I told you, I'm getting up at 1:30. I typically get up at 2:30. I'm going to get up an hour early. I'm going to hit the roads. If I'm a 7 a.m. commuter, I'm getting up at 4:30, 5 in the morning. Get her done early.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I wouldn't want to mess with all the people. And there's also, I think that I would say there's also a 20% chance that it's fine. I think.
Yeah, there is that. There is that. And that would be, I mean, obviously it would be kind of a bust with regards to the forecast, but for everybody who has to drive, that'd be great.
Right. I was trying to explain this to people earlier. There's variables at this time of the year. People don't understand what makes uncertainty. It's not just location. People always think, there's high uncertainty right now. Why is there high uncertainty? Well, think of January 20th. Let's go to January 20th. There's way lower variables than January 20th because the ground is frozen, solid. We know the ground is frozen solid. That's a consistent variable. You can just check that one off. Boop, you can actually just throw it out. If we had this situation in January 20th, we'd be in deep trouble because that stuff would freeze immediately. but now you're growing tulips out of the ground. There's variables to this. So that's why you can't be like 4 to 7 inches. You're like of snow. You're like, wow, what if 2 melts at the beginning? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So by the time you get, I know you mentioned this morning too, which I thought was interesting and a good point, is like you get maybe 7 inches of snow. By the time you get out there to measure it, it's going to be 3 or 4.
Right.
So yeah.
I've noticed that one time I had a forecast. I forecasted 8 inches in April, and we got 8 inches. And then people are like, "You're so stupid. We got 2 to 3." I'm like, "No, we had 8."
I feel like it melted.
Yeah. So after that, I'm like, "Okay, let me jump into the next thing here to keep her moving." So talking about that low pressure center, it's going to swing up through Eau Claire. Now, let's go 2 days ago. When I saw this, it was going to go. And Courtney and I, we were having the same conversation. It was over Madison. That matters a lot, okay? In fact, I'm going to show you some SPC outlooks here. This is today's outlook, just to show you how close this gets to us. Let's look at tomorrow's. This is going to be tomorrow's. What do you notice? We're talking about freezing rain. All of southern Wisconsin is already in a slight risk. So, sorry, I got a little too close to the camera. So southeast Minnesota is in a marginal risk. We're not even talking about this because we're so focused on the freezing rain. So you have to pick and choose. So it's storms. I would love this. The green area, that's the dream. Okay? Rochester, La Crosse, that's the dream. You get a couple of thunderstorms, no big deal. This is storms, rain, sleet, freezing rain, snow. I mean, it's chaos. All right? So the path of this is going to go right over Eau Claire. And I think that gives us a chance for a bubble of warmth. So let's time this out. This is 9 p.m. tonight. Now, if you got to get out there and travel, you are fine before 9, even up here, because again, a lot of this will be melting. Now, as we go into the overnight hours, this is the interesting thing that just came in about an hour or two ago, and this is our in-house model, but the European model also agrees. We're going to get a burst of snow right around that 2 o'clock time slot. I would love it. Are you kidding me? I have to leave at this time. This is when I'm leaving. This is selfishly when I'm leaving. Now, if we're getting snow, great. I don't care as long as it's not freezing rain. But we're expecting this to lift north, and now we're going to start accumulating freezing rain. Watch the snow band. This is actually the heaviest precip that comes in at 11, but it comes in with the low, and we might transition that to rain. Pause it at 4. Who's got the bad weather at 4 p.m.? Right here. Just north of that mix line, St. Cloud, Brainerd, Alexandria, Wilmer. This is going to be dicey up towards Duluth, so we'll have to monitor that as well. But look at this huge area of sleet and freezing rain. It's very large. And then we continue on, and we'll be able to pull in some flurries overnight. Now, Friday's mainly quiet, but I do think by the afternoon you'll see a little sleet, rain, or snow possible in the afternoon. That's when the Twins are going to be playing. So be aware of that. I think this model does a decent job, but it does give the Metro more of that quick little 1 to 2 inches. I do think there's a chance. I think St. Cloud probably is the highest uncertainty. We could see more. We could see an area of 1 or 2 there. We could also get 4 or 5 in St. Cloud. The place where I would say it's mainly snow is going to be up here. Brainerd, Bemidji, Grand Rapids. 6 inches on the table here. But like I said, even if you get 6, you'll probably think it was 4. So regardless, 4 inches. Let's look at the icing. I paused this through 5 o'clock. Through 5 in the morning, this is a glaze. Who's not dealing with the glaze? Yeah, the roads are going to be bad down here for the morning. And as you zoom in, you see that the glaze might continue up to St. Cloud, but it's obviously thicker in Owatonna, Red Wing, and Menominee there down to Wabasha. And in fact, the worst of this, if you go into areas like Wausau, it looks really nasty. And you could see, I'll just go to this map. This is very important. We have a winter storm warning southeast. That includes Washington County, Scott County, Dakota County, because of the chance of over a 1/4 inch of ice. Now, thank goodness we're not dealing with an ice storm warning. These are, we get them, but they're less common. It's not like Texas. You guys get those ice storm warnings in North Texas all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, just a small glaze, I mean, that's basically criteria for an ice storm warning.
Oh, do they issue them easier down there?
I think so, because what do they do for power lines here? Are they underground, or are they?
Well, mainly underground, but you still have.
Because ours are
depends.
not, and so power goes out, and also the roads just can't handle it. So
Yeah, I mean, everybody always thinks of Texas in winter. Oh, we're running out of time. Shoot.
here we go again.
Well, be safe, and we will see you tomorrow during the event. Make sure to watch us on Kare 11 Plus tomorrow.
All right, see you tomorrow.